Conditional formatting is one of my favorite aspects of spreadsheets. It allows you to visually analyze a large set of data based on the contents that you have using a color coding system or formatting system, depending on what you choose to do with it. In this case, I'm using a spreadsheet of some sample data I found online and using Google Sheets and conditional formatting in order to style it. In order to access conditional formatting, you can click on Format, and then you'll find conditional formatting towards the bottom. Now, when you want to conditionally format a section of data, you need to highlight the data that you'd wish to format, select Conditional Formatting, and then on the right-hand side, your Conditional Format Rules panel will appear. For the most basic uses, you can use the single color option. And what this will do is let you set up a condition for the formatting based on any of the data points that you see here. In this case, I want to color code any data whose value is less than 10, and I want to mark it as red. As I scroll through the list, I can easily see that I have 5 data points that fall within that range. Once I click Done, I can then go forward and style another cell, the same range of data, using a different criteria. So if it has more than 90, then I also want it to be styled, but I want it to be styled green instead. And in this case, I can then scroll down and see that I have 4 points of data that fall within that range. You can imagine that this conditional formatting would be very useful if you're looking at data from students, such as through assessments. Now, my other piece that I enjoy is conditionally formatting across a range. And I'm going to be deleting those rules and then adding one using the color scale option instead of single color. This will automatically look at the data that you have selected and then color code it based on the minimum value and the maximum value. So using this default color scheme, my highest numbers will be darker green and my lower numbers will be lighter green. Okay, so if I were to change it and to be green to white to red, then it's going to look at my higher numbers having the green, my lower numbers having the green value, and my higher numbers having the red value, with the white numbers being closest to the 50th percentile. I can then alternate and change it to the other order so that green are now maximum and red are minimum. I can click Done to have that one styled in that method. Now, if I wanted to come back and change it at any time, then just like any of my other conditional formatting rules, I can click on it and then come back in and make the appropriate changes. If I wanted to expand my use of the color scale a little bit, I can change it to be a style that I'd like, and then I am also able to change what it's actually going to base them on. So if it's a minimum value, a number, a percent, or a percentile. Now, if you work outside of the standards-based grading system, then you might want to be able to color code the students who scored below a 67, if these were actual numbers and not financial numbers, anything below a 67 to be red, signifying that they should redo it. Then I want to look at the numbers that fall below 80 to be closer to orange. And then numbers that were closer to 100, I want those to be green. And then, as I scroll down through, it gives me good visual data for how those are falling. Now, obviously, it's a little bit harder to do because some of these bigger numbers are harder. But you can tell that with this kind of data, then we'd be able to easily flag the low scores versus the high scores that we've received for our students. I hope that you've enjoyed learning how to use conditional formatting. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment on this video and I am more than happy to help.